Hello, weirdos. I know you've been watching me, so I've been watching you too. Anyway, what we're going to be talking about today is felons with firearms. So what's going on right now is in the state of Texas. Woo! God bless Texas.
God bless Texas.
One of the cases, a guy is indicted under felony charges. And you know what? The judge said it is unconstitutional for him to not have the right to keep and bear arms while he's indicted, which is amazing because I can tell you firsthand, yeah, a bunch of guys pointing machine guns in your face is pretty scary, but then when they pull out the pink handcuffs and you start questioning, like, are these even real federal agents, or did some rich old chick see me on YouTube, get a liking to me, and now she paid a bunch of guys to come and kidnap me, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life chained to some overly soft bed? It messes with your head a little bit. So, yeah, after being indicted, and then they tell you you can't have firearms, that's pretty traumatic. Especially if you've had some sort of weapon your entire life. And now, way at the end of your life, well, hopefully not at the end of your life, but midway through your life, all of a sudden you don't. Like, it changes how you, like, go places. It changes everything. And it's terrifying, it's completely wrong, and it should not be there. The actual statute is 18 U.S.C. 922N. This was made in 1938. Remember, this stuff is very recent. Never before has there ever been restrictions on the Second Amendment. Most of our dads, and guaranteed all of our grandparents, never had restrictions on machine guns, silencers, SBRs, SBSs. If they got a felony charge and they did the time, as soon as they were released, it didn't matter. They went on with their life as normal. They could have their guns back. That wasn't even a thing. And just recently it is. And now, because of the Bruin decision, it's being challenged. And first case came up, or the first case I've heard of it came up, and yes, Texas said no, that is unconstitutional. He is not guilty yet. What they're talking about here is prior restraint. Remember, innocent till proven guilty. That is what our country is founded on. You are not guilty until proven innocent. Now, I know lately, because of things that have happened, it's kind of all been mixed up, and it's a little bit crazy right now, and basically you're guilty until you can prove your innocence, especially with like red flag laws, but that's not the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be innocent till proven guilty. So why exactly would they take your firearms when you haven't even been tried yet? Innocent till proven guilty. How is that so hard to understand? Anywho, right now, like I said, it's at Texas. Obviously, the government appealed, and will go up to, I believe, the 5th Circuit Court. Obviously, regardless of the outcome of that, it will be appealed again, and then it goes to something, I don't exactly know, it's like en banc, or en bong, or something like that, trial. So it'll go to that, and that's where a bunch of judges will rule on it. Obviously, it'll get appealed again, and then it will ultimately wind up at the Supreme Court. I have high hopes in this. I think that people losing their firearms under indictment is ridiculous. And I believe this is just the beginning. I think the next thing we're going to see go away is felons with firearms. Look, I don't care what your crime was. If you sat your complete time in jail, you're not on probation, nothing like that, you've done your time, why can you not have firearms? Because you're back on the street. Do I need to bring up the killdozer?
Way down Main Street of Granby and actually was taking out buildings as he passed, took out much of the town hall, took out the library, may have gone through the Liberty Bank. It actually looks like he might have punched in one side of a new Liberty Bank in Granby and came out the other.
There are far more dangerous things than firearms that you have unrestricted access to. Why can you not have a firearm after you've done your time? And I know people, like several people, they got in some sort of trouble when they were like 17, tried as an adult, they caught some sort of minor felony, and that would have been the end of it. They would have went on with their life and lived a clean life, but because they couldn't have firearms, periodically, like every 5 or 10 years, they'd catch a gun charge. And the only charge that's there is a felon with a firearm. They weren't breaking the law with the firearm, they didn't have any legal firearm, nothing like that, just the fact that they were a felon. And then they get caught with a firearm or a knife that's too long or some sort of weapon, and then they catch another charge. So periodically throughout their life, they keep just going back to jail. Over what? The initial offense was something stupid that was barely classified as a felony in the first place. Now they're paying for it for literally the entire rest of their life. It's just absurd. That needs to go away. Will it? I have hopes in that. Because remember, these whole no felons have firearms and all those restrictions, that's really, really, really new in this country. So what needs to happen now? You need to happen. If you're a felon, understand your Second Amendment right is being smashed into the dirt. The Second Amendment's very clear. Shall not be infringed. It doesn't say shall not be infringed unless XYZ. No, it simply says shall not be infringed. Remember, this wasn't a license from the government to the people telling them they can own firearms. No, that's ass backwards. Remember, at the beginning of the Constitution, it says, we the people. This is a document from the people telling the government what they're allowed to do when it comes to firearms. So where in the Second Amendment is the government afforded any power whatsoever? They're not. Zero. Count it. Zero power is what the Second Amendment gave the government when it comes to firearms. So you not being able to have a firearm is insanely unconstitutional. And you could file a lawsuit if you're a felon and you're well off, you have some money, and seriously make a difference in your children's lives and make a difference in this entire country. And you have a very good chance at winning. Be careful when you file your lawsuit, though, not to just sue to get your Second Amendment rights restored. You want to sue that the fact that a felon can't have a firearm is crazy unconstitutional. Make them look at that individual issue and sue the shit out of the government. You will win. Under Bruin, you can't lose. There is no text, tradition, or history supporting felons not having firearms anywhere in this country. And Bruin said now you have to look at Second Amendment cases with text, tradition, and history. Before, they used to use a two-step process. One, they would balance public interest. They take this law and be like, okay, that's unconstitutional. Balancing that with public interest, well, we're going to let it stand. So now you don't have a two-step process anymore. You can only use the one-step process, text, tradition, and history. So, the people that broke this story is armed attorneys.
We're the Armed Attorneys. Today we're talking about breaking news. A federal judge out of the Western District of Texas in Pecos has found another federal gun law unconstitutional.
If you haven't checked out their channel yet, I strongly recommend it. Really good channel. They put out great information. It's totally a joy to watch. Definitely check out their channel. Anyway, if you'd like to help support my channel, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You got my Patreon right there. If you don't want to do that, I also got affiliate links right in the description. Just clicking on that link, even if you don't purchase that particular link is for, just clicking on it and doing the Amazon shopping you were already going to do anyway. I had a little kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I just want my guns back. God bless Texas.